Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for our Women's Philanthropy Board Roundtable program on taking control of your money and creating better spending habits. I'm Mary Elizabeth Fukai, and I serve as Assistant Director of the Women's Philanthropy Board. And for any of you who are new to our programs, WPB is an educational outreach organization housed in the College of Human Sciences at Auburn University. And we provide educational programming to adults and the public at large on a wide variety of topics, as well as mentoring initiatives within the university. For today's program, we're excited to have with us Denise Grove. And Denise, I hope I'm going to get all this right. Denise is an advanced certified profit first professional cash flow specialist, a certified public accountant, a chartered global management accountant, Dave Ramsey personal finance coach, and an Auburn University Harbert College of Business accounting graduate. Her practice helps privately held family and women-owned businesses reach their financial goals. In addition to training, consulting, and philanthropic volunteering, Denise is a frequent speaker and writer working toward her life legacy goal of improving others' financial intelligence. Denise, thank you so much for being with us today.
Well, thank you, Mary Elizabeth, for that warm welcome. And I do need to add, I am also a business partner with the Auburn Women's Philanthropy Board, and I went ahead and shared my name tag also today. I'm delighted to be here, and I appreciate the invitation to be a part of the round table series and the chance to record this and share it on the YouTube channel where others may watch at their convenience. The topic today is, are you telling your money where to go, or are you wondering where it went? The reason that I would love to share practical tips on how to A, know where your money's going, and B, stop wondering where it went, is because I realized, especially with my accounting degree and my career and working with clients, money is a topic that a lot of us are uncomfortable talking about, and we're just unsure where to get solid advice. So I hope the tips provided today will let you change your behavior. Some of them you could actually even implement before you go to bed tonight. And as also just want to disclaim, the information shared today is my personal opinions based on 40-something years of experience, and I do not get any affiliate fees for any of the apps that I'm going to share later in the presentation. Again, my name is Denise Grove. I am a certified public accountant, a chartered global management accountant, and have several designations, including being a Dave Ramsey personal financial coach, and those plus my life experiences, and I've got some funny stories about me to share. I wanted to just share these tips. I am the founder and owner of Grove Solutions LLC and CFO Support Inc. Grove Solutions LLC serves personal finances, and CFO Support Inc. serves corporate. One of the reasons I ask to present this roundtable topic is because in the United States, April is Financial Literacy Month. A lot of times people hear that term and they don't really know what it means. Financial literacy is just being comfortable and being knowledgeable about how to take care of your money. In our public school systems, for example, we don't necessarily have programs that set us up for success with our money. So we have to look elsewhere. And I hope that this quick little seminar will provide you some know-how. Today, we're going to talk about what's our goal. And our goal is to tell our money where to go. My opinion is, number one, we just have to be aware. We need to be aware of what's happening with our money. So number one's tip is we're going to increase awareness. Number two, it's critical to make good habits out of your financial management. And your habits will go a long way to improve your results. And last but not least, I'm a big fan of automation. So we're going to explore just a few examples of how automation can help us stay on top of what's going on with our money. Again, awareness. If we don't realize that there's better options to manage our money, then we don't know how to make changes. We don't even know we need to make a change. Many times the financial terms are jargons, they're abbreviations, they're very confusing. And some members of the financial profession really don't do a great job explaining things in English. So I want to give a few pointers of places to look to increase your knowledge. First of all, in awareness, and I'm as guilty as anyone of this, you really need to open those bank statements. You need to open the credit card statements, any type of money related mail that you get, be it a PDF attached to an email or in the actual US mail. You do need to look at your results. It's easy to toss it aside and say, I'll do that another day, but time is our friend. And so being aware of what's going on with your money is your first step. I love this term. I call it bank balance or ATM decision making. I know as a student, I would go over to the bank and pull some money out and then look and see what my bank account balance was and thought, oh, that's how much money I have left to make it to the end of the semester. That is not a good habit, although I think it's very common because that's our human nature. We don't really have good spending plans in place. And we just look to see what's left in the checking account to make choices on our spending habits. So in these tips, I want to embrace our human nature. Think about if there's only a little bit of peanut butter left in the peanut butter jar, you still scrape the sides with the scraper and make your peanut butter crackers or your peanut butter sandwich for lunch. But if you have a brand new full jar, you take the lid off and you use a big old scoop of peanut butter to make your sandwich. Human nature just defaults to we use what's available. And that's one of the reasons why I have a tip on how to trick yourself into thinking perhaps less is available than you think. Spending plans. I know a lot of people shrink away from the term having a budget. Consider it a spending plan. If you have a plan in place, then you know how much you have allocated or allotted to take care of particular spending. I'm a big fan of separate bank accounts for purposes. That's what I mean by segregate the funds. Number one, we all have necessities. We need shelter, we need food. If we don't work at home, we need transportation to get back and forth to our job. We need health insurance, car insurance, and I could go on with this list. But we do have necessities, and we need to know how much our necessities are going to cost us monthly. The key thing that I did not do well first starting in my career is I didn't do a very good job of saving any of my salary each month. That was a mistake, and I want to encourage everyone here to be sure that you save every month. I kept thinking to myself, oh, next time I get extra money or a bonus, I'll save that money. And in actuality, I would have been much better off if I just saved a little bit every month as I went. Also, a budget or a spending plan has got to include play money, fun money. If you don't have some discretionary spending so that you're able to enjoy your habits, For example, I'm big on having a separate vacation account. Every paycheck, I put a little money into vacation, and it's out of sight, out of mind, and grows. And of course, as the Women's Philanthropy Board, one of our values is sharing philanthropically. And so my last point is plan to have a certain amount of money that you share. Key in all of the money management choices you make is just like a plant, money grows when nurtured. I love this illustration going from the seed all the way up to the tall plant. Money grows because you specifically set it aside and let it earn money for you, grows into a bigger nest egg. The sooner you get started, the better, because time is our friend. A lot of times people talk about the effect of compound interest, but a lot of us aren't sure exactly what that means. Real simply, the money that you put into an account to save in turn earns interest or dividends. So the next month, when you earn interest or dividends, the balance continues to increase because you are earning not only on your initial savings amount, but also on the interest you earned. And that's compound interest. What's amazing is unless you've actually looked at a calculator or a spreadsheet or done the math, it's not obvious that how big a deal that can be. But compound interest and saving early and letting time benefit you is a great way to accumulate your savings. I like to think of my money as a pie. As you can see from this illustration, number one, half of the pie has been cut away. Someone's already taken one slice of pie and there's two other slices. This is a great illustration. The half of the pie, in most cases, is going to go to necessities, mortgages, rent, utilities, health insurance, car insurance, transportation. And so if you think about how much money you have in the bank, a portion of it's automatically has a place it's going to be spent. So you've got the rest of the pie to divvy up between saving, sharing, and a little discretionary fund money. If you use separate bank accounts and designate them, you know, with online banking today, you can literally go in and edit the name of the bank account in your bank app. So for example, you could say, this account is for sharing. This account is for vacations. This account is for education funds, and the last account goes toward my necessities. So it's critical to visually separate the money versus leaving all of it in one big account, because you won't be telling it where to go. The second step on great financial results is habits. Habits do not start without you being aware of them, that you need them, and creating them. I've read that it takes at least 6 weeks to create a habit. And I've often wondered if they actually had done Weight Watchers, because you might go strong for 6 weeks, but all of a sudden it's a birthday party and now you can't resist the cake. Creating strong financial habits and owning your money. As one of our recent Spring Summit speakers shared, you know, we are the CFO, or the Chief Financial Officer of our money. A practical way to start creating good habits is pick a day of the week, and that's the day that you're going to work on your money. Be it a Sunday afternoon, be it Monday morning, all depending on your routine. Pick a day and put that on your calendar. Block an hour, get started. The key thing is this is the most important meeting that you have that day. If you start making it a habit, then it'll become your routine, just like getting up and going to the gym 3 days a week becomes a routine. So making good, solid habits is key. One of the best ways to keep a good habit with your money is find an accountability partner, someone to help you. Plan to meet with them periodically. Let them help you go over hurdles, or go ahead and admit to them you slid backwards. You were trying to save 5 or 10% a month, and an emergency came up. You needed new tires that you hadn't budgeted for. Things happen, life happens. But with an accountability partner, you have someone to cheer you on as well as help you remove roadblocks. So one of the key factors in building good financial habits is have a partner. And last but not least, embrace today's technology and automation. When I first started my career, the payroll department would actually take a portion of my gross salary and invest it in the company 401k plan. Then you had the option to split the rest of your salary between multiple bank accounts. I accidentally started saving money out of the rest of my paycheck after I invested into the 401k because the option was there on the form. No one had said this is a great habit to do. So one of the best automations you can do is set up the payroll so that it automatically goes into savings. My favorite saying is out of sight, out of mind. And by using that payroll automation where the money transferred into your checking account is what you need for your necessities, and then having a savings account to save for the future, that's a great automation. One of the other things I wanted to share was online apps. We all have smartphones now, and you would be amazed at how many apps you have. There are two things that I like to use on the apps. One is a place where I can see everything all in one place, because you have bank accounts maybe at different banks, you have credit cards, you have your 401k statements, you have other mortgages or loans. The ability to watch the activity on your phone is an excellent way to stay on top and manage your money every day. My habit is while I'm drinking coffee every morning, I check my app and I see what happened the day before. I have a funny story to share. Right as the news was really talking about the hacker activity was up on the different banks, I checked our app, and my app of choice is Mint, and we'll get into some of the other options. I saw a check for $2,000 go out of our bank account that I knew I didn't process. And so I asked my husband, did you send a check to American Express for $2,000? And he said, no. Well, I hit the panic button because I thought the hackers had us. But long story made short, he logged into American Express and then remembered after I had a heart attack that he had made a payment for $2,000. He just forgot. So it's not only a great way to make sure your money's going where you want to tell it to go, but it's a great way to monitor if in the case you did have a fraudulent situation. Thank goodness for me, ours was not really fraud. It was just me panicking. But the key thing is having a app or a process that gives you the big picture of what's going on with your money. There are apps also where you can create budgets our spending plans. And that's also a good tool that a lot of people enjoy. The third thing I wanted to share is there are actually automations that save money for you. A lot of them are roundups that you set up so that on a certain number of activities, they'll round it up to the next dollar amount and transfer it. There's so many online automations now, and you can set it up for the app to transfer money from your bank account into the app for savings. A lot of these are savings accounts, and a lot of them are actually investing in mutual funds so that you're getting the benefit of stock market as well as bond funds without having to pick individual stocks and bonds. So automation is your friend to be sure that you know where your money's going. You know, in one of the examples in the presentation today, you know, you're wondering how much are you paying on online subscription fees. You know, you can actually look on your phone at a glance and see everything all in one place. So just wanting to kind of wrap up, our goal today is, instead of wondering where our money went, is to tell it where to go. And with just 3 simple behavior changes: awareness of what's going on with your money, creating strong habits of making a spending plan and monitoring your financial activities, making it a habit, including creating an accountability group to help you, or a partner. A lot of times married couples will have, like, one member of the marriage will be the CFO. However, have a monthly finance meeting, you know, just like as if you were serving on a board and went to the board meeting, because both members of the marriage need to be fluent in what's going on with the finances. If you're single, recruit a trusted friend or a family member to help you and meet with you at least monthly or maybe quarterly, depending on how busy you are, and just make sure that the goals that you've set out, that you're on track to reach them. Excuse me. Sorry, the pollen, this lovely spring is getting to me. The whole goal here, and including your automations, is to have a clear picture of not only where your money is, where it's accumulating, as well as impulse purchases. Know that you've made them, and then adjust your spending for the rest of the month. Not to be a scare tactic, but you may not be aware, but one of the #1 reasons for stress and anxiety in the USA is money and money concerns. So taking control and being your own CFO is a great way to minimize your stress. I checked on several studies, and depending on which study I looked at, 62 to 65% of all adults in the US say that money is a significant source of stress. So going ahead and creating good habits and embracing automation is a way to help minimize your stress. Just in conclusion, and I do want to have time for Q&A. Excuse me, just a second. Again, I'm honored to be a Women's Philanthropy Board business partner and support our value on improving financial literacy and philanthropy. I'm Denise Grove. My companies are Grove Solutions and CFO Support Inc. And the best way to reach me is through my LinkedIn profile, which is just DW Grove. I'm happy to answer questions, and I appreciate your attention today and the opportunity to share here at the beginning of Financial Literacy Month. So with that, Mary Elizabeth, do we have any questions come in?
We haven't had any come in the chat, but I've got one. On the automated apps, do you have examples of one or two that take, like, do the roundup and then transfer that money into the savings account?
Yes, there are several. And my favorite one, which happens even in a study last month to be rated the top one, is called Acorns, which is easy to remember because of oak trees and acorns. They will basically, you set a schedule for them to transfer money from your checking account into an account with them. And then you also have the opportunity to direct where you would like to have it invested. But there are several, and some of the best ones, according to Forbes, just to give 3 examples, there's an app called Chime and one called Qapital, which is Qapital. So talking about Google, if you just want to Google best money saving apps in Forbes, you'll pull up a really nice article. Picking the app has a lot to do with personal preference. But I was skeptical about this idea myself when I first heard about it, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. So I test things before I suggest them. I'm my own guinea pig. So I've been using Acorns and have been very pleased. Another app that I have also used is Stash. One of the key things, though, to be aware of is making sure what service fees or expense fees are charged each month. And as you're evaluating how comfortable it is to use the app, just be sure that you're not spending more in service fees than your interest earned.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, if there's not any more questions, I just really want to say that financial literacy, and on the personal basis, owning your money and having the mindset that you can make a difference with your money is critical for your peace of mind, for your family, and your financial stability. It'll reduce your stress, because we read daily how bad stress is on our overall physical health, and just make you comfortable. I had Chris Hogan as my instructor when I went to the Dave Ramsey Personal Financial Master Coach training. And one of his comments that I took with me is, retirement is not an age, it's a bank account balance. That resonated with me because financial freedom and flexibility is grown by having our own finances set aside to be comfortable and have enough. Another takeaway from the Dave Ramsey program that I had never thought about was interest paid is a penalty. Interest earned is a bonus. So I hope everyone that's been listening to the call and may listen to the recording separately, I hope that you start taking interest bonuses as soon as you can.
Well, if there aren't any other questions, we'll just say thank you so much, Denise, for being with us today and sharing this information with us. I know I'm going to look up Acorn as soon as we get off here.
Excellent.
Yeah. So thank you very much. And this will be up on the WPB YouTube channel in just a couple of days, if you'd like to share it with anybody else or come back and watch it again. So thank you all for being with us.
Very good. And again, thank you so much for your attention today.